this is P4L, and today's P4L review will be taking a first look at Ocular Max's remix line. This is their third and fourth release. This is their RMX-03 Volture and RMX-04 Buzzard. Not really sure why Vulture is spelled with an O, but whatever, okay. But this is their version of their kind of masterpiece scaled Laserbeak and Buzzsaw. I could say kind of because it's obviously not mini cassettes and regular cassette size, which makes them considerably bigger in their alt modes, or I guess robot modes, whatever you want to call them, their beast modes. In any case, it comes in a package like the first one, a nice cardboard box that's very simple. Again, these do come in a set. You do get some information down here, warning labels, nothing really here except it's recycled, which is nice. Go green. More stuff there, and on the back you've got some QR codes for Ocular Max's website and so forth. So pretty simple stuff like the original. You open it up, and the first thing you're greeted with is a coupon or label coupon for toy hacks, or repro labels, if that's what you guys still know them as. I still end up calling them that. But you get 50% off for Vulture, and I imagine they're going to do sets for both, because it does come in a two-piece set. So I don't know, it's not live on their website yet, so I have no idea how it's going to work. But the generic coupon code is RMX-03. So cool stuff that they're doing a cross promo with toy hacks or repro labels, whatever you want to call them. In the large box itself, you have two smaller boxes that are styrofoam, and they're taped all the way around. I've gone ahead and taken the opportunity to go ahead and cut these open. And once you reveal them, open them up, you get both artworks and cassette tapes for Vulture and Buzzard. Get them a little bit closer here. So as you can see, these are cassette size. They're just for reference. We'll bring in the mini cassettes of their respective masterpiece versions. In the back here, like so. Pretty similar. So here we have Vulture and Buzzard out of packaging. You can see them compared with their official masterpiece brethren. The reds are a little bit different here. You can see this one is a little bit darker and glossier, and this is more of a matte finish. Over here, these colors pretty much match spot on, which is great because they were a little bit more orange in the original test shot that I had seen. This side over here, maybe a little bit more orange on this one this time, on this side. And here's the glossy red that you come to expect. And we'll bring these guys out for comparisons a little bit later. But yeah, so these are real life size full cassettes. The one thing I will say on these sides that I've noticed is that the screen printing on some of these are not very straight. So you can see here, it has kind of a curve upwards, downwards, upwards, downwards. This one kind of curves up. This one is a little bit more square here, but then again goes up. So little imperfections there, but I guess that's also why they are providing the coupon for the repro labels. It must be really hard to get this printed perfectly in these kind of shapes. But in any case, here they are. Just for comparison's sake with MP Soundwave, you can see just how big they are. These guys are clearly not going to fit in here. Okay, so let's go ahead and go with transformation. Oh, is there anything else to really talk about here? Oh, actually, sorry, I should have talked about the cases. So there are two same cases. This one's really cool because it kind of lines up with the artwork and has these kind of concentric circles that make it look like the beam coming out. Here, he's not doing it. Buzzard's not doing it. He's just shooting lasers, so it doesn't really match up with anything, but still very cool. The booklets themselves open up to reveal bio cards for both. Here, let's put down. Getting kind of messy now. You get bio cards for both, with stats on the back. All right. And yeah, these are pretty standard cases, so we'll put those off to the side. They're interchangeable. You don't need to worry about mixing them up. Here we have kind of the retro artwork again from Chogoking. It's doing a really good job showing the transformation, the kind of retro transformation. And then both modes, and then instructions. Credits go out to the designer, AK. The sculpt is Pelletier. I think that's French. Video manual by me. Photographed by Hard Return, Yin. Packaging artwork by Chogoking. And then obviously Mastermind Creations, being the company behind the Ocular Max line. Pretty much the same thing over here, so not really much to talk about on this side. Alright, so let's finally get into transformation. We'll start off with one and go into the other. So the transformation on these guys are really cool. One of the defining characteristics of this line is that they want it to be all in one transformations, no parts forming, which is nice. And they feature a lot of diecast, so we'll go into that when we get into the transformation. You can see a little bit more of it, but I wanted to highlight those key features right away. Alright, so first thing we'll do is go ahead and pull up on both sides of the wings on either side, like so. Do the same thing here, nice glossy paint. And there's actually magnets here and here, and that actually keeps the wings held together in place so they don't just like flop apart. They actually, if you saw that right there, yeah, they come together, which is a nice feature. They're using magnets a lot more in some of the releases, like the upcoming Megatron that they have. They just showed off the Tarn mask. That's going to be the extra accessory that I was hinting at before, that attaches on his chest via the magnets. So next up, I'm going to go ahead. I'm doing these a little bit out of order from what the instructions say. I think these are the easiest and most concise ways. So once you flip these flaps down like that, you want to go ahead and push on the Vulture head like so. And these are where the instructions might be a little confusing. So from what I understand is you need to have this ball joint exposed on the bottom of the neck. So don't twist the head like this. So it was in this position before, like so. Don't twist just the head. You want to make sure that you twist at the base of the neck here so that the ball joint is exposed downwards. That will give you the range that you really need for his bird mode. From here, this part is a little tough, but what you want to do with the legs is you want to pull up on this hinge first, not on the leg itself. So you're going to use the leg to pull it up, but you want to pull it up like this at a 90-degree angle. And then rotate on the ball joint there at the base of the legs to come down and forward. Okay? From here, come to the back. We're going to untab this. Rotate them upwards. We're going to rotate each of these 90 degrees so that the vents are in the right position. Rotate them at this pin joint going down so it goes onto the back of Vulture's back. Flip up the fins the rest of the way, and then the guns here rotate down like so. From here, bring the wings. They rotate on kind of the cassette spindle pieces, whatever, and then they flip around 180 degrees to reveal the details on the correct side. And then lastly, well, I guess this is not even lastly, but you want to go ahead and collapse the inside, collapse towards the inside, each of the halves. And then you can kind of push these two jetpacks together so that they're fit closer together, like so. And that's really it for transformation. I will say there are additional features, so let's go ahead and pull up on the head. And you reveal the camera for his spying needs, and you do have the ability to open his beak, like so. Alright. I'm not going to go ahead and do transformation on this guy on camera, just give me a second. And we're back. So thanks for your patience. I went ahead and transport Buzzsaw, or Buzzard, so you can see him in his bird mode as well. And I went ahead and transformed these guys for some comparisons. And you can see just how much bigger these guys are. I mean, they're huge. You can see that the camera can flip up and the beak can open with both of these guys. I just kept this one closed. Quick 360. I think they did a really great job on these figures. The all-in-one transformation is really nice. It's something that people, I think, enjoy about these cassettes. Let's move Buzzsaw off to the side for now, or into the back. As far as paint applications go, most of it's painted aside from the black, I think. The only black pieces that I think have that have paint are the diecast feet, which is from the knee all the way in the lower legs. That's entirely diecast, which adds a great heft and stability to this guy, so you're not knocking him over at all. And it can do a bit of a gripping pose. There we go. Yeah, he's perched okay. I wonder if he can hang upside down. No, maybe not. In any case, they did a really good job here. I really like the look. I think the backpack, they did a good job. One of the things that a lot of people complained about with the Laserbeak was, one, the size, which is pretty small, but the gap in the backpack, they went and kind of resolved that by being able to articulate that gap closed here. The lack of real articulation in the wings, you can kind of go like this for the Masterpiece one and then bend these down, but you can't go up at all. This one, you can get a lot of range, forward, going back to straight, angle these, rotate here, rotate here, rotate here, all these several hinges. I guess we can get into articulation at this point. And you can also do the X-Wing Laserbeak, the limited edition Star Wars crossover version, if you want to do that. As far as articulation goes, we already talked about the camera, the beak. His head itself is on a ball joint, a small ball joint. The neck has a separate pin joint at the base of the skull. Here's a ball joint down here at the base of the neck. And again, you want to have that ball joint exposed downwards, as well as a hinge here. His, I don't know, mid-body, I guess, has a bend. So you can kind of have him standing up like this if you want. Kind of more anthropomorphized if you'd like. The legs have that hinge and that goes into the body that goes a little bit forward and back, but then they also have, I believe, a ball joint. Yeah, a ball joint here at the hips. You don't really get much use of the ball joint. I mean, just forward and back mostly. You have his knee, which he can come forward a lot. Then he has, does he have a, yeah, so, thought so. Does he have a joint here? Maybe not. Okay, I thought he had a joint here, he doesn't. But he has a joint here, and here for the front, and then here on the back. So lots of articulation there. We already kind of talked about his wings, but he has this swivel here, pin there, pin up here, and then again these two halves of the wings kind of work in conjunction with that magnet, so you can get different types of angles and so forth. If you don't like the blasters, you can fold them up. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you can do that. And I think that's it for articulation. For other comparison's sake, again, let's bring him out. Masterpiece Soundwave. If this guy is standing on his arm, I don't think he's going to be able to hold his arm up at all. Oh, actually, he doesn't. He holds it up kind of like a champ. Like a champ, Bobby Skullface. I didn't forget about you, bro. Yeah, so he's not going to stay on, but obviously very, very big. And also for reference, for alt mode, he would be scary attacking the Autobot cars if he was his size. So yeah, he's a bit big in his bird mode, or they're a bit big in their bird mode. The last comparison I'll do is with their first remix release, Jaguar, which I think looks awesome. He's still one of my favorite. And I think this scale's okay, I guess, just because they are the same tape size. But like, yeah, I definitely would have wanted him to be a little bit smaller. I think it makes more sense for him to be a little bit smaller than a full-fledged Jaguar. Alright, so I think that's it for the bird mode review. Let's go ahead and do a quick transformation back. So the first thing we'll do is come back here. We want to split the two halves. And I didn't mention before, but it is ratchet. It has like teeth. So it's going to stay firmly in place to the position you want, whether it's out or in. Fold these wings. Oh, no, sorry. Rotate these wings. Then fold them upwards, like so. We'll just keep them there for now. Fold up the guns into the backpack. Bring them down. Fold this down this way, 90 degrees. We're going to fold them again later. And then you can fold the thrusters or backpack like this. Rotate them out. And then remember that small tab we had before that kept the two halves together. We're going to go ahead and tab that in. Flip around to the other side. Get these legs. I like to have them like this. So he's kind of like doing the splits Van Damme style in any of the Van Damme movies, all classics. And then what I do is go ahead and push down on the joint here to get them into place. Otherwise, I mean, there's other ways to do it. I've messed with these samples a lot, samples previously a lot, and then these retail versions quite a bit as well. And I find this is the easiest way. Oftentimes, there's just a lot of interference and clearance, and if you pull it by the legs, sometimes the ball joints pop off. So I would recommend it this way, but if you want to do your own thing, go ahead and do your own thing. Alright, so then rotate the neck at the base again, and then flip the head down and in here, like so. And then you can fold these flaps down. Lastly, these two halves of the wings on each side, they have two tab sections. You have one at the diecast toe that goes here, and then one here that goes there. Be careful since these are blind tabbing systems. One thing that I think you might find is that, and it's because it's painted, it might be hard to actually kind of see where everything tabs in. But as long as you get the toes tabbed in correctly, you should be okay. So again, I messed up. So the toes tab in at the top here. And then these two have, they keep pushing out. Come on. There. That should do it, but we'll see. See what I mean? It's like a blind tabbing system. And you just don't want to like scratch up this really nice paint on the inside just by like feeling around for it. So just be careful when you do that. I think that's in. Yeah, there we go. And again, one more time here. Making sure to get these toes tabbed in first. And then, yeah, there we go. That side was much easier. Alright. And I'm not going to go ahead and bother transforming this guy back now. You can see both modes very clearly. But yeah, that's it for the review. Final thoughts. I really like this line. I'm glad that they're continuing it, especially after their Jaguar. Which is one of my favorite figures, and I think is just a really cool, fun figure. They keep the same kind of, what do you want to call it, like more organic feel, while still having some of that robotic nostalgia to it, right? So I really like that. I like the integration of the magnets. Like all the advanced articulation that these guys get. That's another feature that this line's trying to tout. So great job to AK, the designer there. And the paint is really nice. I will say that just be careful again with paint. It's always difficult to make sure you get really great paint and not chip it up. All right, so especially with tabs here and here, just be careful with those sections, especially with the camera and stuff and the beak. Just because you're going to be using your nails to get in there, and you might chip stuff like that. All right. Well, that's all for today, everyone. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. As always, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, like, or subscribe, or share. And if you want to keep up to date with all my news and reviews, go ahead and follow me on Facebook. Pig for Life Reviews there. Alright, that's all for today, everyone. Hope you have a good one.